Welcome to Wrong Time Watch. My name is Kevin, and today we're looking at two super compressor watches. I would do air quotes, but I'm holding on to two watches. So I'm saying that because the Christopher Ward is an actual, genuine super compressor, and the Longines is designed after a super compressor. So the Longines is designed or is a reinterpretation of a 1960s diver watch, and the Christopher Ward, they took the super compressor technology from the last one, I guess, was last produced over 50 years ago, and they redid it using modern technology, and this is an actual super compressor watch. So a super compressor works, there's a mechanism on the inside of this, a spring, and basically the farther down you dive, the more water resistance you gain from this watch. There's a spring in here and it compresses more on an O-ring seal. But with all that said, the actual super compressor is rated for 150 meters and this watch is rated for 300 meters. So this watch is has a higher water resistance rating. So this watch was kindly lent in by Craig, my friend Craig, and price for this watch, MSRP $3,000. Price for this watch is $1,215 from Christopher Ward. Now you can only buy these from Christopher Ward. This one actually has been discontinued. You can now get a dark blue and a light blue dial. So yeah, but Longines, you can buy them, at the AD. You can buy them all over the place. The stainless steel version is $2,300. That has a date. This one obviously does not. I firmly believe dive watches should not have a date. I just like the aesthetic more, but I'm not going to fault you for buying a watch with a date. That's just my opinion. And this one, of course, no date as well. Actually, I can't remember if this has a ghost date or not. It's been a while since I've had this watch on. Brought it out for the occasion. So that's hacking, time setting, and this is hand winding. So no ghost date on this one. All right, so let's screw that back down. Yeah, it's a cool watch. I don't know if I have considered selling this a few times, but I still have it in my collection. So obviously, I have not sold it. Let's see if we can take a closer look at the movement here. And the super compressor mechanism, this orange aluminum around the perimeter there. If you can see the spring on this or not. Yeah, you can kind of see the workings in there. I always like looking at mechanical movements, even if they're not decorated. I still like to see them. I know some folks would rather have a closed-in case back, but I like looking at mechanical movements. All right, so this is the Solita SW. Sorry, let me zoom back out. Actually, you know what? Let's look at the dial first. So this has applied indices, kind of a fume and sunburst dial too. I like the combination of the brown and the orange, and then the white inner rotating bezel. And then the Lume pips have a little bit of orangish color to them as well. Oh yeah, that reminds me, 0, 5, 10, 15, and 20 are orange, and the other ones are white. When I first saw it, I thought it was a mistake, but it's designed that way. So yeah, very cool. And then it does have two signed crowns, different signed crowns. The Longines, they both have a cross hatching on them like this one here. So let's set this to the side and we'll bring the Longines over to look at the dial. So the Longines, everything is printed. The Arabics and the indices. It does say Swiss made down there. Actually, this one is Swiss made as well. Yep, Swiss made. Christopher Ward, I think they're great value. I think Longines. Long history with this brand, part of the Swatch Group. I guess they're right below Omega on the Swatch Group hierarchy. So green dial, green fume dial. The inner rotating bezel is black, and It's a good looking watch. Oh, and the handset is, they call it pink. And the case has kind of a pinkish tone as well. I don't know how long Craig has had this for, but I really don't see much patina on it. I'll be comparing this watch to 2 other bronze watches in a future video, or maybe I've already released it. I don't exactly plan out my releases all that well. But oh yeah, so another cool thing, this is a titanium case back. My first time seeing a bronze watch with a titanium case back. Normally they're stainless steel. So you can see here, Legend Diver, 300 meter. Yeah, bronze case, titanium case back, and that's the model number there. I'm not sure what the S means. But anyway, you can see the cross hatching on these 2 crowns. So let's zoom back out and I'll talk about the dimensions and also one difference at least between these 2 watches that I remember right now. So both of these have the, we'll call it a 4 o'clock screw down crown. It's not exactly 4 o'clock, but the lower crown, you screw them out. You can hand wind and then date set. This one has an L888 movement, L888 movement. I don't know what that's based on, but the funny thing with that is this is 7 beats per second according to their website, and 72 hours of power reserve. This one 8 beats per second and 38 hours of power reserve. It's pretty typical for the 2824 or Sellita SW200 movements. So let's screw this crown back in. There we go. Now for the inner rotating bezel on this one, you have to unscrew the crown. And then you can rotate the bezel in either direction. It's bidirectional. Let's put that back, push it in, screw it down. And then this one here, I already showed you this crown. You have to screw it out to set the time and hand wind. This one here does not screw down. You cannot rotate the crown backwards. You can only rotate the crown forwards, and then that rotates the inner rotating bezel, but you cannot turn it back. So it's unidirectional without a screw down crown, which I find very interesting. I've not seen another watch that does this. And all the other super compressor style watches, same thing. It has a screw down crown. So maybe that is why it's rated to 150 meters of water resistance. Not entirely sure. Anything over 100 meter water resistance is perfectly fine for me. I think my pool is, well, it's not even 2 meters deep. It's 1.5 or something like that. But anyway. Oh, yeah, this does have quick release pins, a quick release bracelet here. But that's not why we're here. Just a quick overview of both of these watches, and then we'll talk about the dimensions. All right, so let's talk about the Christopher Ward first. So I measured lug to lug of the bracelet with these male end links. Now, male end link, as you probably know, is the center portion protrudes out farther than the case. If it was female, then it would be cut back and in closer to the case, to the dial. Okay, so 52.3 millimeter on the male end links. The case itself, 47 millimeters, so that's nice and compact, very similar to the Seiko SKX. Watch diameter, nice size at 41. The thickness, a little bit on the thick side, 13.1, but with the way the case is designed, it hides it very well. Very cool watch. I really like this watch. 22 millimeter lug width, and that tapers down nicely to 18 millimeter. So if not for these male end links, it would wear very well. But looking at how it's designed with this quick release pin, I don't think you can do a quick release pin, a quick release end link with a female end link. I don't quite know if that would be possible. At least not using this design with these 2 screws here to capture that spring bar. Okay, crown size, 6.9 millimeter crowns. Both of these crowns, 6.9 millimeter. And this watch size for my wrist weighs 150 grams. So let's bring the Longines over here real quick, and you can look at the crowns on the Longines versus the Christopher Ward. The Longines measures in at 5.9 millimeter on the crowns, but also you can see how much longer these lugs are. 52.5 millimeter lug to lug. They do curve down, but it actually overhangs my wrist. So if on a bracelet, it's not as noticeable because the bracelet is separate from the case. So it just looks like it's a bracelet curving down versus having long lugs like this with a strap on it. Yeah, this is a Longines leather strap, and this also comes with a NATO, green NATO strap. So you would wear the NATO for diving, and the leather for everything else. Just a good looking watch. I guess this is a brown strap. I thought it was black, but I guess it's actually brown. And that outer ring may be a dark green too. I can't exactly tell. From right here, it looks like it's green. Okay, so dimensions of this watch, as I mentioned, 52.5 millimeter, 52.5 lug to lug. Case diameter on this, 42. Thickness, 12.7. So it has twice the depth rating of the Christopher Ward, and it is about a millimeter thinner. 22 millimeter lug width, and this strap does taper down to 20. And as I mentioned, 5.9 millimeter crowns, and 83 grams for this watch. Yeah, such a nice looking watch. Maybe I'll pick up a stainless steel one, but I don't know. Well, you'll see here on my wrist. I think it's too big for my wrist, so let me get both of these on wrist, and then we'll check out the Lume. Now this one has Super Luminova, and I believe the Christopher Ward does as well. I didn't write that down in my notes. So I have a 6.5 inch wrist with a 52 millimeter wristband. So this does overhang my wrist. I think you can see that right there from this angle. Maybe not. Really like this pinkish color too. I don't know how long it'll take for it to start to patina here. And then the buckle and tang bronze as well. This may be one of those grades of bronze that don't patina as much. Most of the bronze I have experience with are CUSN8, and those do patina. And like I said, I'll show you in an upcoming video this versus two other bronze watches. All right, let's zoom out here. Then we'll get the Christopher Ward on wrist. They have this nice system with, well, I'll show you when I zoom back in, with the toolless micro adjust. So here we go. That white ring kind of makes the watch look smaller, I think, or maybe bigger. It kind of plays tricks being a different color from the dial. It also has more of a cushion shape too. You know, being 13.5 thick, it doesn't quite look like it to me. Yeah, I'll show you the micro adjust, and then I'll bring over the SKX real quick. So it has a system in here. Push this and then pull that. Hopefully you can see that. Maybe I blocked it. So you can just push it back in without pulling that lever there. So nice system. All right, it's my Seiko SKX, just for size comparison. Pretty similarly sized, but I think it does look smaller than the, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Then here's a shot of the thickness. These are the same thickness. The SKX just looks a lot thicker. At least to me it does. Alright, if you have not subscribed yet, please take a moment to hit that subscribe button, like the video, and leave a comment below. Really appreciate the support. Alright, I'll pause the video and we'll come right back and check out the lume between these two. I'm gonna, I don't know which one's gonna be brighter. Probably this one. Alright, so both of these are designed off of vintage diver, so lume wasn't all that great back then, so maybe that's why they're kind of replicating here, and lume's not so great on both of these. The Christopher Ward is better than the Longines, but it's not really great compared to, say, a Seiko SKX. But both are still very good looking watches. Be happy to own either of them. Alright, that will conclude this video. As always, thank you for taking the time, and thank you for watching.